I guess one thing that, like, there's a lot of amazing moments in London. I mean, it's such a amazing place, you know. And one of the things was when we went to St. Paul's Cathedral, there was a choir in there practicing, you know, Gregorian chants. And it was just amazing to hear, you know, the sound echoing off the walls, the same thing that people would have heard 300 years ago in the parishioners going to that church.
Okay.
Well, I really didn't know what to expect. I mean, I just knew it would be, you know, something new, a new experience. I'd never been out of the country before, so I mean, I guess you could say it definitely surpassed my expectations.
Okay.
Yeah, I took a history class and a literature class, and it was really, I mean, I'm a history nerd, so even though I am a business student, so it was really special for me to study the, you know, Renaissance English history in places where all these events actually occurred. Actually, no, we weren't in a classroom at all. We would go out to, like on a typical day, we might go to the British Museum and some historical site, a palace or something like that, and then when we come back at the end of the day, we just meet in our hotel for about 30 minutes, and the professor would just give us notes, you know, stuff to think about, because all we had to do was write an essay when we get back. So there was no really classroom instruction. It was just kind of the professor would give us guided tours, and then at the end of the day we'd have class meetings and talk about, you know, what we had seen that day and what we were going to do the next day. It's a little different. It's actually, I thought London would be really expensive. It's not that much more expensive than over here. You just have to learn, you know, where to buy cheap food and stuff like that. But it was, I mean, for me it was a lot of fun. Just, I mean, to live somewhere else just for a few weeks, you know, with new people, and you know, that was the first time I lived outside of my home at that time. So it was a little bit of an independent experience too.
And out of it, or?
Well, I think I guess you could say it broadens, you know, the way you see things, because you're living in a new culture. Everything there comes from a different perspective of what you're used to. I mean, you watch the news, you see the advertisements, you talk to people there. It's all something new, you know. So whenever you come back home, it helps you to think of things, you know, a little bit different way. The hotel was all arranged. The accommodations were arranged. We had to buy our own plane tickets. All of our public transportation was paid for, so we could use the tube and the bus system, and also our train tickets for all the planned tours were paid for. And we had a little bit of time to do stuff on our own if we wanted to as well. Well, I went to some places in London that I wanted to go to that weren't part of the tour. I went to the War Museum. We went to some of the shopping districts on our own. And also, since I was in Europe, I took a short flight into Paris after the trip, and I stayed in France for about a week after that. I think there's no way you're going to regret it. I mean, yeah, the cost was absolutely worth it for me. I mean, I paid for the program, you know, with my own money, and it was absolutely worth it. Oh, actually my phone didn't work while I was there. You have to make sure, you know, as far as cell phones and stuff, that you have an international plan, or that's the only thing that I had any trouble with. I mean, you can study. I mean, I would definitely suggest buying a tour guide, and just reading over that, finding out, you know, what kind of what you have to look forward to in that place. I guess there's just other sites that I didn't get to see that I would go and see, but I really wouldn't change much about what I did. I mean, except, I guess Westminster Abbey.
Yeah.
Just because it's such an old building, you know, it's almost 1,000 years old now, and just to see the craftsmanship that went into it with, you know, just hammers and chisels, and how special it is to the English people. Well, yeah, I mean, I didn't need actually any of the credits to get my degree, but I mean, it was definitely a highlight of my college experience. I'm really glad I got to do it.